I can't stop fixating on quilts, and so I'm gonna try to make one even though I have no experience and I don't really know how to, except for the few YouTube videos and TikToks I've watched. So I think I'm an expert at it, but I'm not, and there's no guarantee that it will work out. But that's the fun of it, so you can't stop me. I've already done it because you're watching this video. I'm about to leave to go to the craft store and get fabric from the millions of supplies you need for quilting. Sewing machine, my grandma gave me hers years ago and I've used it maybe once. And I have a traumatic story that comes with that, which I'll tell you later. But I have a sewing machine. I have a cutting mat. I placed an order for probably 15 things yesterday. I needed a rotary cutter, sewing clips, thread, needles. I ordered batting, which is like the cushiony part of the quilt that goes inside of it. There's more that I got that I can't remember that I'll talk about later, but I'm going with you to get the fun stuff because who cares about scissors and thread, right? Before I go, I do want to talk about the pattern that I got. I knew I wanted something for beginners where all of the cuts and stitches were like straight lines. I didn't want to be doing anything too wavy with the sewing machine because I think it's older. I don't know what its capabilities are, or like if the quilt will be too thick even for it. We'll find out. Hopefully it's fine. I found this quilt on Etsy. It's called the Dorothy quilt and the seller is PenelopeHandmadeShop. It looks like this. I'm gonna take you with me right now and we're gonna pick out some colors for the checkerboard patches. Can I do this? Who knows? I'm like 70% sure I got everything I need. I want to show you. The colors were pretty easy to decide on because they didn't have that many solids, and I definitely didn't want to do a print, so it kind of was narrowed down for me. But these are the colors that I got. I really like them. I think they'll look nice together. And then for the back, the binding or edging or whatever it's called, and the background, I just got this natural cream kind of color. Rotary cutter, fabric scissors, sewing clips, quilting pins, cutting mat, giant ruler, cotton batting, fabric, iron and ironing board, quilting needle for my sewing machine, magnetic seam guide because I'm bad at making straight lines. If my sewing machine can't handle it, I have thread and needles to connect everything by hand. And sewing machine. Before I cut anything, I just ironed all of my fabric pieces. I feel like I'm doing one of those like color test things. I think I'm a winter, but who cares? Welcome to the floor. I'm here to cut some fabric. The pattern says that for each piece of fabric, I'm going to need 7 2.5 by 21 inch strips. These pieces are 18 by 21, so I'm going to be cutting into the 18-inch side so that the length will be 21 inches in the end. Here's my first strip. I'm going to be doing this 63 more times. pattern said that all seams should be 1/4 of an inch, so I'm just going to be lining the edge of my fabric up with the edge of the presser foot. I did it. Here's my first strip. This is kind of fun though. I like it. I have a lot more to go, so I will stop talking and let's get to work. So here I'm just ironing all of those pieces I just sewed together and then cutting them into 2.5-inch strips. And then every other piece I'm taking and turning it around so that it creates this alternating pattern. And I did that to all the pieces, which took forever, but here you can see all those little slices cut up. And then I took 4 of each of those pieces to the sewing machine and connected them to make the patches. Good morning. It's the next day now. I spent roughly 9 hours straight quilting yesterday, and it was just time to call it a night. But I ended up finishing all of the checkerboard patchwork pieces. They're all organized by color over here. I just finished cutting the background pieces for the front. These are like the spacers in between the checkerboard. I didn't film it because it was really repetitive, but I have a stack of small ones and I have a stack of big ones. This is what I'm doing now. I'm arranging them in horizontal rows and vertical rows. So here I'm laying out the patches and trying to even out the colors so that there's not too many of the same color patch next to each other. And here's what it looked like once I finished sewing all of those stripes. So horizontally, those are all separate pieces, and now I have to sew them together. I'm trying to motivate myself, but it's not working. I sewed 3 stripes together, and I have 8 to go. Can you please comment if you've made a quilt before and if it was an enjoyable experience for you? Thanks. I feel like I did something wrong because all of these white squares are like a little too big and they stick out a lot. And I'm wondering if it's because my seam allowance was not, or was too much. It would be fine if it lined up. I wouldn't be mad. It's been raining all day today and it's like my favorite thing ever. It's so cozy. Like, bro, why does I finished. So right now I'm taping the backing to the floor so that when I sandwich all the layers together, it doesn't shift around and I can make sure everything's pinned correctly and in the right place before I pick it up. And I had to move out to the living room because my office is too small and it was hitting all the doors and stuff. I'm not pulling it tight, I'm just making sure it's flat. I don't want it to be stretched out, I just want there not to be any wrinkles. Also, I was watching videos on how to quilt. I'm scared I won't be able to use my machine because they were all using like different foots or whatever. And if I do this by hand, this video will be posted in a month. So I'm just gonna try using what I have and hopefully the machine doesn't break. I'm just laying down the batting right now. I wanna make sure that it's centered before putting the top on. This is so soft. I just learned that this process is called basting. The angles in this room are so weird, I'm sorry. I believe the next step, you probably can't tell at all, but there's a lot of little white threads sticking out the top. I'm gonna cut them all off before I quilt so they don't get stuck in like my sandwich stitching. I don't know what to call it. And then I think I'll go through with quilting pins and connect all these layers. And then I think that's when I trim the outside, because right now, obviously you can tell the batting and the backing are way too big for the top. There she is. Okay, I looked up videos and a lot of people were using a walking foot, which I don't have and I don't want to go get. But I did pick up these quilting needles and I'm going to attempt to change the needle in my sewing machine to one of these quilting needles. They recommended switching it to the 90. There's like different sizes on here. I don't know what 90, like 90 what? 90, I don't know what unit that is. I'm going to try to do that and I have no idea how to, so thanks, YouTube.
Part goes in your machine, and that's for edge.
It comes with like a thing, I don't know where it is though. Okay, I successfully switched the needle in my sewing machine, which was a lot easier than I thought actually. You just unscrew this little screw, pull it out, put the new one in, and tighten the screw. I have my thread, I have everything ready. But I do want to make sure the tension isn't going to be too tight since it was set for only like 2 thin layers of cotton. And now we have this thick layer of batting in between. I'm going to do a few test stitches on this swatch and hopefully my quilt will fit in the sewing machine. I think it's fine how it is actually. Let me show you up close. Here's the top of the stitch. And then that's the back. It seems fine to me. I wish I could get live feedback. Someone's probably like, that's so wrong, it's too tight. I don't think I'll have time tonight to finish it. It's already 9. I at least want to get the first stitch done. I think I'm just gonna do one directly down the middle and then work my way out. I'm too excited to leave it till tomorrow, so we're gonna try the middle stitch. I'm using the checkerboard patch as a guide, so I'm just going right down that center seam. I'm scared. I feel like it's so heavy, it's not gonna like pull it. My machine's like, what the heck are you doing? It looks fine. Okay. The line is so wonky. It's gonna be cute though. It's like a cute wonky, not a bad wonky. Did this just work? It's not a straight line, but it's a line. It's close. It's close. It's good enough. Wait, this is making it real. I'm so excited. The front looks like this. I also don't want to stab myself. Wait. I'm gonna let her rest here for the night and we will see you tomorrow. Y'all, I'm on my last row. I never thought I would see this day. The past few days I've been working on quilting this with my little machine. She's done a great job. She's a tough cookie. I'm giving you the honor of watching me finish the last row because it's a beautiful moment, okay? My bobbin thread ended when I ended. Look, it's empty, but it finished. I'm so touched, oh my gosh. I was scared it was gonna run out, but like, it just knew, it knew that I wasn't done. Thank you. I'm taking old pins out so that I don't get stabbed. Fun fact, I stepped on a sewing pin during quarantine and went to the ER and they cut open my foot with a scalpel and couldn't find the needle. So then 3 days later I had to go to a general surgeon and then he decided to put me under to take the needle out because he had to have his x-ray machine set up while he was looking for the needle because it was so small and he didn't want to be digging around for 4 hours and not find it. So I had to be put under and I had a tube put down my throat, which ended up hurting more than the actual needle in my foot. Hello. Here she is. Let me just make sure there's no more pins because that's scary. Oh, I missed one. I missed another one, ow. Okay, so here's what I'm unsure about. I sewed the straight, can you see this? Yes. I sewed these quilting lines kind of like every other checker pattern, so like here, 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 here. I feel like the right thing to do would be to like rotate it and then go back the other way so that the back looks like a grid and not just stripes. Am I gonna do that? No, I don't think I am. Is that bad? Is that wrong? Is this fine? Like once I put the trim, what's the harm in just having stripes? I don't know. Also, I messed up here, don't look, but I'm showing you up close so you can look for a second. Don't tell anyone. Like, I'm kind of over it. I think I'm gonna leave it at the stripes. Another pin. Okay, I'm blind apparently. I kind of want to make clothes now that are quilted. This is inspiring me. Like a white quilted jacket. Do I have the patience for that at the moment? Absolutely not, but could be cool. Could be. Okay, I need to finish this today. My last step is to cut and sew the edging. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Binding, edging, trim, something. So that we don't have a raw edge here. Okay, I just cut 7 2.5-inch strips that are the width of the fabric that I bought. And I'm gonna go connect these to make the binding. This is what I do when I don't know how to do something.
First strip, lay it on your mat. Second strip, 90-degree angle.
Okay, I think it makes sense. But I do have to refill my bobbin real quick. Okay, I sewed this one right, and then this one I sewed wrong. I don't own a seam ripper, so I'm gonna attempt to cut this. No, you guys, I did it on the wrong side now. Look. You know what? I'm just gonna cut it. I can't. This is kind of confusing. That's why I keep glitching. Take 3. Okay, I'm gonna continue this. Bye. That process was so annoying for me, but I finally found the right way to do it after lots of trial and error. Here I'm just cutting off all of the excess fabric and then ironing that long strip of binding in half to then sew on my quilt. And there were still little pieces sticking out that I had to cut off. Lots of ironing, sewing, cutting, ironing, sewing, cutting, and so on.
I have a nice edge to work with. One more time.
I'm sewing my binding on. Wish me luck. It's inevitable that one of these sides has to go under the arm, right? Yeah. This is tricky. Like shoving it through. No, I'm stupid. I have to turn it. Guys, I'm done. I will say it's not perfect, and I'm gonna show you in case you don't think you can achieve something like this. Yes, I achieved it, but it's by no means good. If you look up close, for example, I messed up the way I folded the trim. So it's like on the quilt and I like had to skip the corner. And the other side looks like this. I had to like hand stitch it to keep it shut. If you look from far away, it's beautiful. I'm really proud of myself. I feel like halfway through when I had to start quilting, I just got like annoyed with it because it just gets so repetitive and tedious. Okay, yeah, look at this. See? Ugly. If you've been following me along on this journey, thank you so much for watching.
Why is it bad?
I can't wait to see what I fixate on next. Because it's not going to be quilting. I have quilting fatigue. Bye, I love you.